Hello and welcome to this uncharacteristically quiet episode of the James Donald Forbes McCann Catamaran plan. I am staying with my family and Ruby Setnik, who's over there, and we could get on the pod. And maybe, in fact, later on we will get Ruby on the pod. As she winces and grimaces, I hope this chair's not too noisy. It's not so bad now that I'm in a robe. For those listening on the audio-only podcast, I'm enrobed. Family's asleep. I've had liquid bowels for the last few days. We're on a road trip. I won't go into too much detail, but boy, oh boy, you eat Chinese food in a mid-California town, and you get Chinese food in a mid-California town results. Mid-California sounds like a dig, but the region is actually, as best I'm aware, called Mid-California. And some of it's actually quite lovely. I think we're experiencing... I wanted to do this episode because I wanted to do another visual episode because I believe we're experiencing a Joe Rogan bump. Thank you to everybody who wrote such lovely things about the Joe Rogan experience. It was very nerve-wracking, a bit wonderful. What a good podcast host he is. I think he'll go far in this business. And thank you also to one person who, I shouldn't have read any of the comments, but I read just enough of the comments to get one person who was a loon, who thinks I'm a plant. And boy, I wish they think I'm some sort of plant. They thought, Ruby, they thought I was some sort. They thought I'd been put there to push some sort of agenda. And I can't tell you how much I wish someone had come along earlier in my career and said, you've got to say this about Bitcoin, but you can get on the Joe Rogan experience. It would have saved me a lot of time and bother in building and developing a career if anybody had come along and said, I would have been gettable. I'm so gettable. People wouldn't even give me ads for sports betting companies. I could have, anything but condoms. I've said that for years. Anything but condoms I can do an advertisement for. No one would believe. I would be a bad spokesman for Bitcoin. Yes, Ruby. Every day of the week, because Bitcoin, while a folly, is not, I don't believe, intrinsically evil. It's wonderful to be here on the James Donald Forbes McCann Catamaran plan with you. Some people will be watching this for the first time. Wow, what an exciting moment. What an exciting moment that is. I don't always have this podcast equipment. I lost a bag in Las Vegas and I lost all of my podcasting equipment. So I had to go to a guitar center and buy some new stuff. This blue microphone felt cool at the time, and now I'm worried that it's a little flamboyant. I realized that I thought, I don't see anyone else podcasting with a blue microphone. And now I've got it and I'm doing it. I'm thinking, man, I don't see anyone else podcasting with a blue microphone. What am I doing? What am I doing? Shit. I haven't seen a lot of if I haven't responded to you, if you've written me a nice message, I haven't responded. That's because I'm now rocking this minimalist telephone. You see that? There's a Kindle e-reader screen, and I'm not being paid by them, but I'd love to be paid by them. To do ads for them, and also to give them tips on how to make it a better phone. Here's why I couldn't take money from them: is it's got a lot of problems as a phone, and if you're not hopelessly addicted to your telephone device for all sorts of purposes, I cannot recommend it one bit. It's worse than a normal phone, like the phone I'm speaking into now to record the visual element that belongs to Ruby. I've been on the road for too long. We drove from Austin to Los Angeles. We spent a week in Los Angeles, and then we've driven up here, and the Joe Rogan thing came out, and I thought that might be going very badly, and I couldn't even tell if it was going badly because I'm on this ridiculous phone that doesn't really work, and I have to put it on airplane mode off and on before I make a call. It should work as a phone. That's all I want it for, is to work as a phone, and it doesn't. It's pretty good for playing chess, and my chess has never been better. I'm playing chess at an incredible level. I'm crushing Ruby at the chess. Anyway, the important thing, I beat you again and again. You've never beaten me. Because every time I took your queen, you can't hear Ruby's sad excuses. Anyway, so the podcast is about my journey for boat ownership, and it's coming along. That Joe Rogan thing, the big bump, all these new people watching this incredible. I mean, this has got to be the highest quality version of the podcast that I've ever put out. Holy dooly, goodness gracious. There's a book of poems coming out soon. That money will go towards boat ownership at some point. Once I get my life together, then the money goes to boat. First, life. If I don't have a life, I can't buy a boat. So we've got to pay for I mean, I am in a fancy hotel room, so I feel weird wearing this robe and these beautiful, look at your little thing for your tootsies down there, and people are paying for me to have a boat. And what have I got to say? Go over to the Patreon and give me money so I can buy a boat. But then I'm staying in a place like this, not because I want to stay in a place like this, not because we've been staying in places like this on the road trip, but because I urgently needed to. I wouldn't even call it a bowel movement. I'd call it a bowel flow, because I don't know if I'm having interior organ damage or if I'm just stressed and having a lot of nicotine and not eating very much. It's just nicotine and caffeine, and I'm still not losing weight. I think I got food poisoning, and all I'm doing other than the food poisoning food is nicotine and caffeine, and I can't get slim. There was one moment on the podcast where Joe Rogan asked me if I'd thought about going on Ozempic, and I did take that as a dig. I think we were talking about Ozempic. He said, have you ever thought about going on it? I said, no. Because in America, I don't think of myself as a big fat person. But when we go back to Australia at some point, people will say, look at him, he's from America. What are they putting in the food? And he can't have dairy anymore. How do you gain weight when you can't even have delicious ice creams? Ruby thinks I might have a gluten intolerance. Ruby thinks everybody has a gluten intolerance, and then they get off gluten and they feel way better. And I don't care if it is gluten making me feel bad. I'm not giving up croissants. I've already given up cheese in the croissants. I'm not giving up. I've given up chocolate in my croissants. I'm going to continue having unpleasant tomato
croissants have butter in them.
My sweet wife. Was I too loud? People have just seen your knees.
Edit it out. Oh.
Will you sit over here? This is what we do. We put one woman talking off microphone, and then she gets a microphone, and then she's on the microphone, and we get a second woman off. But the podcast must have a woman off microphone at all times. You can be showering while you're off microphone.
As long as you stay off microphone.
I don't know if people will be able to hear the very noisy pipes of the shower going.
I think if they do, it won't matter too much.
So I'm here with my wife, and Ruby's on the trip as well. And Ruby has been a wonderful help with it. I mean, really, Ruby, such a help with the children. I like to travel with a third person as much as possible, because when it's just, two people, I think that's where a lot of family road trips go wrong, is it's just the nuclear family. And then, I remember when I was a child and my dad was driving us across Australia the 2 or 3 times that he managed to bring himself to do that, because he had such a bad time on the first one. Shouting, hostility, which I sense in myself. And I've done a couple times, but I think having someone who's not a blood relative in the car with you keeps everyone's behavior just a little better than it would otherwise be, I'm not saying as many hurtful things as I'm thinking.
Is that the point of God?
Go on.
Like, abstractly, if I'm gone and it's just you or it's just your dad in the car, is God like the third part, like the weird childless woman who keeps you from yelling?
I think theologically, God is very far away from being a childless woman.
No, but you understand exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah, we always hang out with a wonderful, weird, childless woman. Childless is such a negative.
That's how you described me yesterday. So I well, you said I was single, and then you became worried that I would take offense to that because I'm not.
You have a boyfriend. Yes.
I have a boyfriend. But I'm single through really your.
Like.
Yeah, James really likes my boyfriend.
He took me to a bookstore. It's I think
pulled out all the stops for you.
It's important to have people around your family to hang out, and I was very moved with you and my daughter.
Yeah.
There have been a number of times on this trip. You have a beautiful thing with my daughter, and it's really nice. It's really nice. She's like a very ADHD strange child, and you are a ADHD strange lady. And she gets to like bond and have a nice time. And of course you can do that with men as well. You can have men come with you on a trip.
Yeah.
The fear there is that they'll rape your kids.
Yeah.
And I don't really fear that.
What do you mean, really?
Well, I mean, it's...
Yeah.
People have been fooled before.
That's true.
But I definitely feel safer traveling with her. I really feel like women should have all young child jobs.
That's, yeah,
I
maybe.
I know that, like,
Women do bad stuff too.
women do bad stuff too, and not all men do bad stuff. But there was a man in Australia recently who did unbelievably foul, like the worst. Look it up.
To young children?
Yeah, in many childcare centres to many kids, and,
And he just got away with it.
I think he got done for something else. He was part of a ring,
Oh,
and someone got for
a
doing,
ring, a pedophile ring.
Yeah.
Oh.
How come it's never a pedophile necklace?
Yeah.
They love their rings.
It's never a pedophile home. It's always a pedophile house. You said funny stuff about Ugly Betty today.
Oh, see, this is good producing. Here's a fun thought. I'll get to that. There'll be a small amount of editing on this.
Sorry,
podcast.
whatever you want.
Stephen Colbert's show has been cancelled, and maybe that's due to some nefarious political things, and maybe that's also just because you got to hire 200 people to make a show that no one wants to watch, right? And I think the other late night shows, it's a matter of time. It's a matter of time before they all go, because that's not quality entertainment anymore. I watch, we tried to watch them last night, and it seemed hokey and strange, with the exception of Jelly Roll as a guest host for Jimmy Kimmel, who was fabulous. But Jimmy Fallon is there, and he's, he's pretending like he's having a great time playing a party game with the Roots and Natasha Lyonne, which is a fever dream. And Stephen Colbert's almost crying while he talks to Adam Schiff about California politicking. And it's hokey. People are wearing a suit, they're pretending to talk. The audience is full of people who I'm sure don't watch the show. The world's moved on. And this is entertainment now. This is the Tonight Show. How could they possibly compete with hotel room, one person's off camera, beautiful robe? Can you feel that we're in the future right now?
You never got back to about Ugly Betty.
Oh, yes. I was having my thought about Ugly Betty. She was beautiful. I just thought it was funny that some studio executive was like, "Get me the most beautiful Hispanic woman we have. Throw some glasses on her. We will call the show Ugly Betty."
Look at her. She's hideous.
And she doesn't, it has to stay Ugly Betty. Does Betty get hot at some point during Ugly Betty?
I think a few times she takes her glasses off and has a boyfriend.
People go, wow.
People go, wow.
Then she puts the glasses back on and he leaves.
Yeah.
Devastating.
I
wanted to remake Ugly Betty. I wanted to reboot Ugly Betty.
You did.
But here's my thought. Because I think I've figured out the big problem that Ugly Betty had that capped its success. I'm calling it fucking Smoking Hot Betty. And I think that'll find a bigger audience. That could be a reel.
Right there.
Now I'm going to say 5 things. I'm addicted to getting the bump and people joining in on the podcast.
Okay.
Why don't I just say a series of really dynamite things?
Okay.
That could all be reels.
Okay.
Okay,
go ahead. Just go ahead. Say something dynamite.
Banana hat man.
Is that because we watched Curious George this morning?
Yeah. Which I think Curious George, man, this is great. This is going to be a great reel too. I can't believe they're getting away. Curious George is a show about a family of white Southerners who look after a cheeky monkey who don't know how to act right.
I don't think it's a racial thing.
Take away a few bananas and it's the blind side.
I think it's because children are just monkeys. It's the blind side. Can I also make an observation about Curious George that's less astute?
Please.
But if you just, every episode is the same thing where George is forced to join the market economy, and he's a monkey and he's also a baby, so he can't do the job.
Yeah.
So in the first one, he had to count whales. He had to do census for scientists, and he fucked that up.
The monkey doing a whale census.
Yes, and he fucked it up. And then everyone's like, "It's okay, you're a monkey." And then the next episode, he had to do a mail route. It's just him doing all the jobs.
But I think the crux of Curious George is my wife hopefully will join us off microphone just for a moment while I make this one point about Curious George. Thank you, honey. Because you've seen more Curious George than I have. So Ruby was saying every episode of Curious George is about him joining the market economy and fucking it up. But I would say it's also about him not only fucking it up, but then finding, in finding a solution to the way that he's stuffed it up. They can do it better than they ever could before, There's
a solution in the
They
problem.
don't just fix it.
I guess that's the inventive.
It's usually better, but it's like, I think America's very good at tolerating people who mess up, the bumbling
like
type
bumbling.
people. So
you like bumbling too in Australia and different
No. We have no.
You like an underdog.
Underdog is not a bumbler.
How is it different? Also, can I just say real quick that the spin-off is like, well, somewhere there's a baby whale doing the monkey census. Sorry, Skits.
Please, just for a moment while we talk about Curious George. I can't podcast alone anymore. I've lost the ability. I've tried a couple times.
I think it's just a stressful time for you.
So the bumbler comes up with great things, but is socially difficult.
Yeah.
The underdog believes in something, and he might. But the underdog is just underfunded. Like, we think of our country as being the underdog. I can't think of a beloved Australian person who seemed like they had a messy room.
Yeah.
Am I being unfair
that makes
with
sense
that?
based on what you've told me. Because in Survivor, you like the manipulator. And I like the manipulator, but that's unique as an American.
Americans love, yes.
We don't like the cunning person who manipulated everybody and was playing games and was having secrets, even if that means that they're more competent. But you guys, you're okay with that and you forgive them because you are such a fan of competence.
I think that the
but
dynamics
you don't like
of
success.
the dynamics of the shows, we don't like successful people. The dynamics of the two shows are very different, and that's why I think that is. So in America, everybody's a schemer and playing at a really, really high level. And so when you get someone who's not doing, it'll be like one person who's not doing that, and that's really lovely to watch.
Yeah.
And in Australia, it's like, man, 3 guys who have really watched the show a lot and 17 people who are just like, it was that or Love Island, and they weren't quite hot enough to get into Love Island. Is that fair? I think it's off type. You think there are more people now? There are. First it was just Dave. It was like 4 seasons until there was one guy who was incredibly good, who's now the host, and this is a big controversy in Australia, is they've kicked off the old host and they're getting the best player to have played the game to come in as the host, and people love it's Jonathan LaPaglia, who's Anthony LaPaglia's brother, and I barely even want to go on Australian Survivor anymore if Jonathan LaPaglia is not going to be the host, and as they keep turning me down, I may get to fulfill that ambition.
Yeah.
Oh, we're in Carmel by the sea.
Just Carmel.
There were caramels on our pillows when we got to this very fancy place. I think we could definitely get another reel out. I can feel one more reel a brewing.
Oh, yeah? What is it?
I don't know yet. But
Go ahead. No, do it. Do the reel.
We were talking about the Dancing in the Dark music video and Courtney Cox getting pulled out of the crowd because my mother drove home. This is a story my mother told me over and over again, is that Courtney Cox went with a friend to be an extra in the Dancing in the Dark Bruce Springsteen music video, and the girl that they had who has to get pulled out of the crowd by Bruce as a part of the song and dance with him, she could do it once, but then they needed to do 4 or 5 other takes, and she couldn't maintain her enthusiasm. So they got another girl and she couldn't do it, and eventually they said, well, let's try this girl who's just shown up for this, and Courtney Cox was fabulous and she could do it again and again and again. She looked excited every time. And then Ruby tried to look that up on her phone. You said you tried to look that up and you couldn't find it. I said, it's the Dancing in the Dark video. You said, I was looking up Courtney Cox dancing excited.
Successfully, actually.
Is it Courtney Cox is successful excited dancing?
Successful dancing.
I don't know why my mother told me that. So it was 15, 20. It's one of the few things that my mother really, really drilled home was that Courtney Cox was excited again and again in the Dancing in the Dark music video for Bruce Springsteen. I think as a man, the more helpful thing would have been becoming Bruce Springsteen. I don't know. that I'll have that many opportunities to get pulled out of an audience and dance with someone. In an excited way.
So few of us get to be Bruce Springsteen. Most of us at our best get to be Courtney Cox. What do you say?
It's really just 3 guys that get to be Bruce Springsteen.
Just the 5, funny. Yeah.
Has that been on my foot the whole time? Is that remains of a sandwich been on my foot the whole time? What funny things have you said on the drive? We could turn them into reels.
It was all pretty in context.
Taylor, what's the funniest thing you've said in the last 4 days?
She said the 9/11, but that's taking a joke from Taylor and using it for your nefarious reel turning.
I take a lot of jokes from Taylor and use them in my
head.
You'll note that I'm not as
airplane.
bitty in real life as I am on stage, and that's largely because I'm lifting things that my wife has said.
So would I if I had a Taylor, and I do, and I will. Can
I tell you my favourite Taylor joke that I stole?
Yes.
It was given. You willingly. You let me have it. I made it less edgy, so the one I had was...
Is it, I think retard never left? Is it that one?
No, that's stolen from 89% of the entire Austin comedy scene.
Yeah.
The Taylor... Okay, I'll say my one was like... I read a study that said the person most likely to assault a woman is her partner. So I've stopped following her to her car. I've stopped walking her to her car at night.
Yeah.
You know, I just want her to be safe.
But that's really funny.
It's very fun, but that's the
was that one that you had? No, that's just something you said. The
Tay one, and the original Tay one was, all these conservatives are worried that women are going to get raped in unisex bathrooms, because they're trans people. But that's not, there's a kernel of truth in that, because you are most likely to be raped in a unisex bathroom. The one in your home by somebody you know. Did I do that justice?
I think you told me that joke the first time we hung out, Tay. Yeah.
She knows how to win people on side. I would have loved for you to... that'll seem to new people who are here for the bump, like I'm talking over my wife. But she, by the way, refuses to speak into a microphone on the podcast.
She despises to be known.
Mm.
What's the bit that you're doing? Not being known?
You're an unknown. You're a known unknown.
To this week on the trip, Taylor said, do you do Here Comes the Airplane when you're feeding a baby food? And I say, what do you mean? Yeah, I do it. She's like, but do Americans do it? And I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, well, isn't it offensive? And I was like, because of 9/11? And that was her plan all along for me to get there.
You played a long game there.
It was really funny. So you can do a reel of you just listening to me retell you something that Taylor said 3 days ago. And we can post a reel of you reacting to that.
So you do the first 2, and then you the government comes in and does a 3rd one somewhere else, and later on you take credit for it. And then the government fires a missile at the 4th one and then pretends like people took over the plane.
Yeah.
And all the Jewish children get a text message that morning that their food is going to come to them like this. Which I don't believe. I've had enough of anti-Semitism.
Is that DM going to make you more anti-Semitic than you are?
I did my philo-Semitic material at the comedy store, and someone thought I was being anti-Semitic. And
what does philo mean?
Love.
Neutral? It's
kind of pastry. No, it's a philo-Semite is someone who loves the Jewish people.
Oh, like a pedophile. So you could call it a semophile? That's not right.
Semophile.
Yeah. Oh, I think I called your dad that once.
Who judges wine.
It was funny.
My dad's love of Israel is so strong and deep. I'd love to go to Israel to do shows, but no one will book me there.
In Israel?
Yeah.
Well, I think they're busy right now. Just wait a little longer.
Well, I'd like to... obviously, I don't believe in boycotting people from talking to them. I believe in dialogue.
Yeah.
And I'd have some criticisms about the way they're conducting themselves. But I think wouldn't that be funny to go to Israel and be like, can you guys come on, cool it down?
Yeah, that'd be a funny way to never be seen ever again. Suicide by Israel.
I don't think Israel would.
You're gonna go to Israel and say, "Hey guys, I just want to have a talk."
Guys, you're killing too many innocent people.
Yeah, every time they hear that,
but
they
you're a free
accuse
country
you.
And you can hear sense.
Mm-hmm.
Someone's got to have the audacity to go over there and help them.
Sometimes your son just starts, he's across the room and he makes eye contact with me and he puts his arms up. And he starts screaming and running at me, and he's doing suicide by cop, but he's just doing it at me. It's just very alarming. Get rid of that.
No, that was a real good anecdote. They're all such magical people.
Your kids?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm by and large in favour of having children. Certainly for me, and often for other people. I can't tell you how good my chest has gotten.
Your chest?
My chest has gone up a whole, 300. I've moved up several orders of magnitude in my...
Is it because of your old phone? Did you read a book? Is there anything you can recommend to listeners that all these little men... Sorry, not little. These men who are big and strong, who listen to your podcast, that would help them...
Help them with their chest?
Yeah. I did not mean to call them little men. I just meant all these...
Very few of them are little men.
These guys.
Several of them are massive.
I'm sure several of them are massive.
We saw many of them.
When
I was mailing out the shirts, let me tell you, we got a double XL audience. Financially more lucrative for me if I could get some smalls listening.
I just meant that the ones who might like to know about your chess theory maybe are small in stature, but large in mind.
All sorts of people play chess, but I will say when I watch the videos of people explaining chess to me on the internet, they're often small.
They're little men.
And there's a weird niche that has opened up. They
should make the pieces heavier.
You should only be allowed to move the pieces if you're doing cardio and eating protein. That should be what moves the pieces. They should build a machine for that. Yeah, Ruby's nasty.
No, that's not what I meant. I meant that the skinny guys could maybe get stronger by doing what they're passionate about already. It's a good suggestion. It's like when they put the B12 in my Red Bull and I'm like, I feel like a dog being served a vitamin with cheese around it.
Can we talk about
It's patronizing, but it's good.
A spoonful of sugar. That's how I feel about getting my peanut butter in the chocolate cups.
Can we talk about me what?
No, we can't.
What?
We can cut it, but... are you taking a reprieve from comedy and how that's made you feel?
I have lots of many complicated feelings about it, and sometimes I can talk about it, and sometimes I can't, and I get grumpy, and I'm sorry. You both have been very patient with me, going back and forth and being frustrating. As frustrating it is to you, imagine how my managers feel. My managers.
So you've told them that you're taking a break?
I'm not taking... Well, I've told them that I'm... Yeah. I guess I have. In a roundabout way that you would... Is this going to be a super public episode?
Yeah, it was going to be. We don't have to talk about it.
We can talk about it. I don't know if that's interesting.
You're right. It's inside baseball.
Yeah.
I will say, this is sort of a nice thing. My Stanley Tucci poem is blowing up.
You're able to see your YouTube statistics on there?
Sorry? Yeah.
Is today... Did you look at statistics today?
Yeah.
Did you look at statistics and numbers for the first time after it came out today?
Yeah.
That's why you're grumpy. That's why you're poopy.
If I have organ
Not that you're grumpy at me.
Everyone just told me I was in a bad mood.
That would suck, yeah.
I'm sweating blood and dying on the floor. And
I'm so sorry.
You're just a bit nervous about how Rogan went. And I'm like, I'll say my last words, do you know what they'll be? I forgive you all. It's what I thought too. How could we have known?
You should go to a doctor. But then every
You're
time
only saying that so that you feel better about it when I die.
Every time I suggest my weird, untrustworthy doctor to you, you say, let's do the podcast.
Let's see if the podcast helps. Is what I wanted to. Here's my Stanley Tucci. I got the poop on the brain. What happened to Stanley Tucci? He used to be a movie star. Now he just goes to Italy and eats a bowl of pasta. And all I see is Pedro Pascal in every single movie. When will you have eaten enough spaghetti, Stanley Tucci? It's had 16.4 thousand likes.
Really?
That's my biggest poem by far, and it's not making it into the book because it doesn't speak to the human heart and soul. And in 100 years, when people pick up one of my books, they'll go, who was Stanley Tucci? Why does he care about him eating pasta? Why doesn't he like Pedro Pascal? I said some very hateful things about Pedro Pascal on the drive, and I take them all back. He's a great guy.
Say what you said.
I don't want to. Thank you for listening to this episode of the James Donald Forbes McCann Catamaran Plan. No, we don't have to. I mean, if we've got anything else.
No, you're right.
This is the new Tonight Show.
This is a Tonight Show.
I am Stephen Colbert. I am keeping democracy functioning. I keep our elected leaders accountable.
You don't have any pants.